Venerable's Dhamma Talk today. First, he wanted to rejoice in the merits of everyone who's here, all the patrons, the food patron, the transference of merit patron, and the candle offering for Makapu Shade. So before the blessing, the Venerable wanted to give us a wisdom talk about generosity, and this is something that the Buddha taught, and it basically summarizes a high level with regards to merit and the results of merit. So the Venerable was saying merit, no matter what, is always going to be good, and the receiver is always going to get good energy from doing good deeds. Now, there is a difference in terms of the giver and the receiver. So if the receiver is an animal, this is too, it will bear good results and good energy. But in comparison, let's just say this would be like 100 lives that you'll have good deeds from doing a good deed with an animal. Now, if you do a good deed with a human being, just a general human being who doesn't have any precepts, this too will bear results of good energy. And this energy would help you and follow you in 1,000 lifetimes. Now, if you do a good deed with someone who upholds 5 precepts, this too will bear good results for you, and it will follow you up to 10,000 lifetimes. However, if you do a good deed with a monk, someone who has a higher level of precepts and is meditating, and this doesn't have to be a Buddhist monk, just any sort of ascetic, this good deed and this good energy will follow you for 100,000 lives. However, if you do a good deed with a enlightened being, someone who has entered stream enterer or higher, the results of the good deed is endless, especially the higher and higher absorption of this being, the stronger and stronger and the quicker and quicker you'll see the results of the merit that follows you. And again, it's endless lifetimes. So if you are ever able and fortunate enough to do a good deed with someone who has high absorption, it's a definite opportunity. Now with this, the Venerable was talking about a story to emphasize this. During the Buddha's time, there was a disciple who would come to listen to the Buddha, and this is actually in the Pali Canon. This disciple was a very, very, very poor disciple who had a lot of faith in Buddhism, but yet this person was very poor along with his wife. So poor that they didn't even have good clothes. They would wear rags, essentially. That was all they had, was 1 or 2 rags that they would switch between each other to wear. That's how poor they were. And one day the Buddha saw this disciple coming to listen to him and really wanted to bless him and help him in his own way. And so he told the disciple, this person, of the Dharma about generosity. And the Buddha knew that if this disciple could understand how much generosity can really help him, maybe it will turn things around for him. It's not like the Buddha needed anything. The Buddha had so many disciples and so many people offering him things. But the thing is, you have to do it yourself. You have to be able to get rid of the defilements within you. And the Buddha knew this. So the Buddha told him this Dhamma Talk with regards to generosity, hoping that maybe it might help him within his mind to see the results of good deeds. So as the disciple was listening to the Buddha's Dhamma Talk, he actually felt very inspired to do a good deed, but he didn't have anything. The only thing that he had in him or with him was the clothes that he had, which was barely just rags, but that's all he had. And he knew that that was all that he could give. And so as he's listening to the Buddha, he heard there were 2 sides to him, and the Venerable gave a comparison to say you have an angel on your right shoulder, and then you have the devil on your left shoulder. You've got 1 angel, but yet 1,000 devils on the left shoulder trying to influence you. And so he wanted to do this offering, but yet that angel next to him was saying, do it, but yet the evil right next to him as well, which was very strong, was saying, if you do it, you're going to be cold. Then what? You won't have any clothes to wear. This is all you have. So he thought about it, and he decided that he couldn't make an offering, but yet he continued listening to the Buddha's Dharma. At this time, it was probably 6 o'clock, and some time goes on towards maybe 8. And again, he felt very inspired and wanted to do this good deed, so much so, but yet there was this battle inside of him with regards to if he does it, he won't have any clothes to wear. So he decided not to. Then he continues listening to Buddha one last time towards the end of the Dhamma Talk. And all of a sudden he realized, you know what? I have to do it. This is my opportunity. I have to do it. And this is what the Venerable said, Chittame, which means I will win, which is actually winning within yourself. So he did it. He took the clothes from his back and he made an offering fully, faithfully, and with confidence in his good deeds. And he didn't care what else would happen. He just did it. That was what he felt he needed to do. Now, the moral of the story is the Buddha didn't need these rags at all. It had nothing to do with that. He had so many other disciples and people listening, making him offerings. So it had nothing to do with that. It had more to do with whoever was listening, who was able to get rid of the defilements in their mind. They will win themselves. He has nothing to do with it. He's only sharing the story. It is us, the people who are living the journey within ourselves, to be able to fight the defilements that we have. Now, the moral of the story is when this person made the offering of the rags, it just so happened that a high-level official was there and was so amazed and inspired that this poor person did this, that the whole entire town started talking about it. So much so that a king heard it. And when the king heard this, he felt very inspired and very just happy that there was somebody who had that much generosity to do this kind of good deed, that he, from his kindness, from the disciples' kindness, the poor person's kindness, the king wanted to give him an opportunity to work in his palace. And from that point on, this poor person no longer was poor at all and had everything he needed. So the moral of the story is when you do a good deed and the receiver is pure, the giver is pure, the object that you're offering is pure, this is very, very powerful, and this story conveys that. You have to believe in your good deeds. If you want to do a good deed, don't stop yourself, do it. We're limited in the time that we have in our lives, and we're here to cultivate good deeds for ourselves. So this is the Venerable's Dhamma Talk today.